Money is fundamentally a tool, designed for practical utility in daily life. Its primary function is to facilitate transactions and exchange of goods and services. As a tool, money itself possesses no inherent moral value or ethical quality. Its perceived value and impact are derived solely from how it is utilized by individuals. Therefore, money serves as a neutral instrument, reflecting the intentions of its user. Money is often viewed as a direct representation of power. It functions as a fundamental means to exert influence. This influence extends to controlling various circumstances. Furthermore, money enables control over other individuals or entities. Thus, its possession signifies a capacity for significant societal impact. A fundamental difference exists in the perception of money. This creates a central tension regarding its role in life. Is money something to be mastered internally? This mastery involves cultivating indifference to its presence or absence. Money can be perceived as a strategic instrument. This instrument is wielded to exert external control. It allows for the manipulation of various situations. The primary objective is to achieve desired outcomes. This perspective views money beyond mere transaction. It highlights its potential for influence and power dynamics. This segment introduces Stoicism and Machiavellian thought as distinct philosophical frameworks. These philosophies offer fundamentally different answers to core human questions. Each framework provides a unique perspective on ethics, power, and human nature. Stoicism emphasizes virtue, reason, and emotional resilience in its approach. Machiavellian thought focuses on pragmatism, power acquisition, and political strategy. Stoicism is an ancient philosophical school that originated in Greece. It was founded in Athens by Zeno of Citium around the early 3rd century BC. The core tenet of Stoicism advocates for living a life in accordance with nature. It emphasizes the importance of reason, virtue, and inner peace as paths to human flourishing. Stoicism is an ancient Greek school of philosophy that emphasizes virtue, reason, and natural law. Key figures significantly shaped its development and left a lasting legacy. Epictetus, a former slave, focused on personal ethics and self-control. Seneca, a Roman statesman, explored practical applications of Stoic principles in daily life. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor, documented his Stoic reflections in Meditations. Stoicism is an ancient philosophy centered on ethical principles and personal virtue. The foundational belief of Stoicism is that virtue is the sole true good. All other external factors, such as wealth or health, are considered secondary. This perspective emphasizes internal moral excellence over external circumstances. Stoicism is a philosophy emphasizing personal virtue and resilience. A core tenet is the control principle, focusing on what is within one's power. This principle directs energy towards internal factors, such as judgments and actions. External events and other people's opinions are considered beyond personal control. By distinguishing these, Stoics aim for tranquility and effective living. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy, offers a unique perspective on material possessions. Within Stoic thought, money is categorized as an indifferent. This classification means money is neither inherently good nor inherently bad. Its moral value is determined solely by how it is used by an individual. Thus, Stoics emphasize virtue in action rather than the object itself. In Stoic philosophy, certain external things are categorized as indifferents. These indifferents are not inherently good or bad. They do not directly contribute to virtue or vice. However, some indifferents are preferred because they can facilitate a virtuous life. Money is considered a preferred, indifferent, useful for practical aspects of living. Yet, Stoicism emphasizes that money is not essential for true happiness or moral virtue. Stoicism posits that one's identity should not be rooted in material wealth or possessions. True personal worth is derived from character, virtues, and inner qualities. External factors like wealth are indifferent. They do not define an individual's essence. Focusing on character development leads to a more resilient and meaningful identity. Stoicism teaches that external circumstances, such as financial loss, are beyond our direct control. Therefore, these external events should not dictate our internal emotional states or inner peace. Maintaining inner tranquility despite adversity is a core principle of Stoic philosophy. Focusing on what is controllable, our reactions and perceptions, is key to resilience. The Stoic philosophy addresses the nature of human suffering and its origins. A core tenet is that attachment to external objects or wealth leads to suffering. This suffering arises because all external possessions are inherently impermanent. The transient nature of these things means they can be lost at any moment. Therefore, Stoicism advocates for detachment to achieve inner peace and resilience. The Stoic philosophy defines true freedom not as external liberty, but as an internal state of being. This concept emphasizes that genuine freedom is cultivated within an individual's mind and character. It is achieved through the practice of self-mastery, gaining control over one's thoughts, emotions, and actions. A key aspect is developing independence from external conditions, circumstances, and other people. Stoics believe that by mastering oneself, one can remain tranquil and rational regardless of outward events. This internal resilience allows individuals to maintain their peace and autonomy in any situation. Stoicism emphasizes virtue, reason, and living in harmony with nature. A key tenet is the cultivation of inner peace and resilience against external circumstances. Seneca, a prominent Stoic philosopher, was known for his immense personal wealth. Despite his riches, Seneca consistently cautioned against becoming dependent on material possessions. He advocated for a philosophy of detachment, viewing wealth as a tool, not a master. This perspective highlights the Stoic ideal of maintaining inner freedom regardless of external fortunes. Niccolò Machiavelli was a prominent political thinker during the Renaissance period. His work is deeply rooted in the historical and political realities of his era. Machiavelli's writings reflect a pragmatic understanding of power dynamics. His views were shaped by the turbulent political landscape of 16th century Italy. Niccolò Machiavelli, a prominent figure, authored the influential political treatise, The Prince. This seminal work delves into the intricate dynamics of acquiring political power. It meticulously analyzes the strategies and tactics necessary for rulers to maintain their authority. Furthermore, The Prince explores methods by which leaders can effectively expand their dominion. Machiavelli's analysis offers a pragmatic, often controversial, perspective on governance and statecraft. Machiavellian thought centers on understanding the dynamics of power within political and social structures. A primary focus is the acquisition and maintenance of power, often through pragmatic means. Survival of the ruler or state is a crucial element, emphasizing self-preservation above all else. Influence, both overt and subtle, is explored as a tool for control and stability. These principles are applied to navigate complex political landscapes and human interactions. The Machiavellian perspective views the world as inherently competitive and often hostile. In this framework, the acquisition and maintenance of power are paramount. Power is not merely an advantage, but the ultimate guarantor of existence. It is considered essential for an individual or state to navigate challenges successfully. Without sufficient power, survival is precarious in a world of competing interests. Therefore, Machiavellian thought prioritizes power as the fundamental means to ensure survival. The Machiavellian perspective asserts a direct relationship between resources and influence. Acquiring resources is fundamental to increasing one's power and sway. Greater resources translate into an expanded capacity for action. This increased capacity enables more effective execution of objectives and strategies. The Machiavellian perspective views money as a fundamental tool for power. It serves as a critical instrument for strengthening political influence. Money also enhances social control, providing leverage over populations. Ultimately, financial resources contribute to stability and dominance. The Machiavellian perspective emphasizes the strategic use of appearances in leadership. It suggests that appearing virtuous can be a powerful tool for political advantage. This is not about genuine virtue, but rather the perception of it by others. Such an appearance can help maintain or increase a leader's power and influence. The strategic display of moral qualities can foster trust and loyalty among followers. Ultimately, the utility of virtue lies in its ability to serve political objectives. The Machiavellian perspective views wealth not as a means for personal gratification. Instead, it is a resource to be deployed with strategic intent and purpose. Wealth should be utilized to achieve specific political objectives. It can also be directed towards realizing particular social goals. This approach emphasizes the instrumental value of wealth in power dynamics and societal influence. Niccolò Machiavelli explored the dynamics of power and leadership in his influential work, The Prince. He posited that a ruler's effectiveness hinges on their ability to maintain control over their subjects. Machiavelli argued that while being loved is desirable, being feared is often more reliable for governance. Fear, unlike love, provides a consistent and stronger basis for ensuring obedience and preventing rebellion. The Machiavellian perspective suggests that state stability is paramount. Achieving and maintaining this stability may require unconventional methods. These methods can include manipulation or other less than ideal tactics. The focus is on the outcome of a stable state, regardless of the means. Machiavelli's philosophy prioritized practical outcomes in governance. He focused on the observable realities of human behavior. His view analyzed the dynamics of power as they truly existed. This approach contrasted with abstract moral ideals. Machiavelli advocated for actions that ensured stability and control. Pragmatism was central to his political thought, often superseding conventional ethics. Stoicism is an ancient philosophy, emphasizing virtue, reason, and inner peace. A core tenet of Stoicism is the distinction between what is within our control and what is not. Stoics prioritize cultivating inner control over emotions, judgments, and actions. They view external factors, such as wealth, status, and material possessions, as outside of direct control. Therefore, the pursuit or accumulation of outer wealth is secondary to developing inner virtue and resilience. Stoic philosophy distinguishes between virtue and external goods, like money. For Stoics, virtue is considered the only true good and is intrinsically valuable. Money, conversely, is an indifferent. Its value is external and not inherently good or bad. Virtue is paramount as it leads to eudaimonia, a state of flourishing and inner peace. Stoicism and Machiavellianism represent distinct philosophical approaches to life and leadership. Stoicism primarily focuses on achieving inner peace and tranquility through virtue, reason, and self-control. It emphasizes accepting what cannot be controlled and cultivating resilience in the face of adversity. In contrast, Machiavellianism is centered on acquiring and maintaining external power and dominance, often through pragmatic means. Stoicism advocates for a core principle of detachment from external outcomes. This philosophy emphasizes focusing solely on one's own efforts and actions. It involves accepting circumstances that are beyond personal control. The Stoic approach distinguishes between what is within our power and what is not. By detaching from results, individuals can achieve inner tranquility and resilience. Machiavellian philosophy emphasizes the critical role of external power. This power is seen as fundamental for ensuring stability within a state or system. It is also considered essential for maintaining security in an unpredictable world. Thus, external strength is a core tenet for navigating volatility and securing order. For individuals exhibiting Machiavellian traits, money serves a distinct purpose. They perceive money not merely as a medium of exchange or a store of value. Instead, money is viewed as a direct and potent instrument for asserting dominance. It is utilized to strengthen their control over essential resources and assets. Furthermore, money is employed to manipulate people and influence various situations to their advantage. Machiavellian thought emphasizes the critical role of perception in leadership. Maintaining authority and influence relies heavily on how a leader is perceived by others. Reputation is a key component, shaping public opinion and loyalty. Effective governance often prioritizes the strategic management of one's image. Machiavellianism is a personality trait characterized by manipulation and deceit. A core tenet is that the effectiveness of an outcome can justify the means employed. This principle prioritizes successful results over ethical considerations of actions. It suggests that any method, regardless of its moral implications, is acceptable if it leads to a desired end. This perspective often involves a pragmatic approach to achieving goals. The focus is solely on the utility and success of the outcome, not the rectitude of the process. A fundamental tension exists between two distinct philosophical approaches to life and power. One approach is the Stoic pursuit of inner mastery, focusing on self-control and virtue. Stoicism emphasizes cultivating wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance within oneself. The other is the Machiavellian drive for external dominance, prioritizing power and control over others. Machiavellianism advocates for pragmatic, often ruthless, means to achieve and maintain authority. Stoic philosophy offers valuable principles for modern business leadership. A Stoic leader demonstrates unwavering ethical conduct in all business dealings. They make calm, rational decisions, even under pressure or during crises. Such leaders exhibit resilience, navigating adversity with steadfastness and composure. A Machiavellian leader applies strategic and calculated approaches in business. Their primary focus is on maximizing influence within the organizational structure. These leaders prioritize achieving competitive advantage in the market. Such leadership involves pragmatic decision-making to secure desired outcomes. A Stoic approach to personal finance emphasizes practical and mindful money management. It advocates for prudent saving and responsible financial planning. This philosophy encourages financial security without excessive attachment to material wealth. The goal is to avoid an unhealthy obsession with wealth accumulation. It promotes financial independence and resilience through disciplined choices. Stoic philosophy offers a unique perspective on personal finance. It emphasizes financial security as a practical tool for living a virtuous life. Financial well-being is not considered an ultimate goal in itself. Instead, it serves as a means to achieve greater moral and ethical ends. This approach encourages disciplined financial management. It promotes using resources wisely to support a life of integrity and purpose. A Machiavellian approach to personal finance prioritizes strategic investment. The primary goal is to gain financial leverage over time. This strategy aims to increase personal power and influence. It involves calculated financial decisions to achieve specific objectives. The focus is on maximizing advantage through astute financial maneuvers. The Machiavellian perspective views personal finance through a strategic lens. Money is considered a primary instrument for expanding one's options and capabilities. This approach emphasizes using financial resources to gain influence and leverage. It focuses on exerting control over one's personal and professional environment. Financial decisions are made to maximize power and achieve desired outcome. Modern society integrates diverse philosophical principles into its foundational structures. This integration often involves a blending of concepts related to virtue and power. Societies recognize the importance of ethical conduct and moral uprightness. Embodying virtue simultaneously, there is an acknowledgement and pursuit of influence, authority, and capability, representing power. This dual valuation shapes societal norms, governance, and individual aspirations in contemporary contexts. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy, continues to shape modern societal values and perceptions. We often admire individuals who exhibit strong ethical principles in their actions and decisions. This admiration stems from a recognition of their moral integrity and adherence to virtues. Similarly, inner strength and resilience in the face of adversity are highly valued traits. These qualities reflect core Stoic ideals, emphasizing virtue, reason, and emotional fortitude. Modern society often rewards individuals who adeptly acquire and wield power. This societal tendency aligns with core Machiavellian principles. Machiavellianism suggests that effective leadership may require pragmatic, even ruthless strategies. Such individuals are often recognized for their strategic acumen and influence. Their success demonstrates a practical application of power dynamics in contemporary contexts. Stoicism is an ancient philosophy emphasizing virtue, reason, and inner peace. It teaches individuals to distinguish between what is within their control and what is not. Financial assets, like money, are external possessions, thus outside of one's direct control. Stoicism poses a fundamental question regarding the impact of losing such external assets. It challenges whether financial loss necessitates a loss of one's sense of self or inner composure. The philosophy suggests that true self-worth and tranquility should remain independent of material wealth. Stoic philosophy encourages deep introspection into personal values and motivations. A key aspect involves assessing one's attachment to material possessions. This reflection also extends to the pursuit of external validation from others. The challenge is to determine the true depth of these attachments. Understanding these bonds is crucial for cultivating inner tranquility and resilience. Machiavellianism explores the acquisition and maintenance of power through pragmatic, often amoral means. A central question within Machiavellian thought concerns the relationship between power and personal principles. It specifically asks if one can achieve significant power without compromising their core principles. The inquiry focuses on whether integrity can be maintained while navigating the demands of power. This Machiavellian question probes the potential loss of self-control or moral compass in pursuit of dominance. This inquiry explores the Machiavellian perspective on power and leadership. It highlights the inherent complexities and challenges in the pursuit of dominance. The analysis reveals potential moral compromises often associated with gaining and maintaining power. Ethical dilemmas frequently arise when leaders prioritize control over conventional morality. Such reflections prompt consideration of the true cost of achieving and wielding authority. Ultimately, it questions the justification of means for the end of political or social supremacy. Money is often perceived as a measure of success or wealth. However, Its true significance extends beyond mere financial accumulation. An individual's approach to money reflects their core values and beliefs. This perspective reveals more about their underlying philosophy of life. It is a deeper indicator than their actual bank account balance.